Hey everybody, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever, wherever you might be. This is John, your host of the Witching Hour podcast. So tonight I'm here to talk to you, yes, about another concert review. I've been very fortunate lately to go see some great shows, and fuck it, I'm going to talk to you about it. So the show in question is headlining Carcass, British melodic death metal, um, grindcore. They've got all kinds of names associated with them. Um, so anyhow, the entire bill, my apologies. First off, it was concert was about 2 weeks ago, I believe. Baltimore Soundstage, Baltimore, Maryland. I know I've mentioned that place before. I'm really becoming a big fan of this location. Anyhow, um, so the lineup coming out of Texas, opening up the show was Creeping Death. Now, sadly enough, we got there a little bit late because of traffic. We caught, I believe, the last two songs from the band. Powerhouse, great heavy death metal. Not really feeling their name. I appreciate the name. Creeping Death has a cool sound to it, but I'm sorry, but every time I hear that name, it reminds me of Metallica. And that's sorry, I might be hated for this, but that's not something I really want to be reminded of all the time is fucking Metallica. Anyhow, the guys put on a lot of energy into their show. They had a great set from what I could hear and got a really, really good crowd response. Um, after that, some of my old favorites, which I was really thrilled to finally see again. Because honestly, I kind of thought their days had passed. They had not put an album out in quite some time. Sacred Rake. They they did play a couple songs off their last album, which I want to say was, you know what, the lead singer, bassist, lyricist, Phil Ryan had actually mentioned. I want to say it was from 2018. I think was his last album. A couple really good tracks in there. They played a really good mix of all their shit. Of course, a friend of mine that was with me as soon as they started the intro to American Right or American Way, sorry, he and I both just kind of went nuts. It was really done, really, really well. Um, they were just one of my favorites back in the day growing up. They were punchy. Their music had a certain groove to it. Um, it was just something that you could just sit there, just pop it in, and your head would just automatically just start bouncing back and forth with. And it was really great to see him. Like I said, I hadn't heard anything from them for a long time, and was pleasantly surprised when I saw that they were on this bill. Like I said, they played kind of a greatest hits thing. They were so into the show. I mean, uh, Phil was just all smiles, and he's up there taking selfies with the crowd. He just really got into it, and I've followed them through this tour on Instagram, and he's just having a blast. He really is. He's updating on their locations, posting pictures from each show, and just having a great time with it. And it was kind of funny too, during the middle of a set, see him reach into his back pocket, pull out his phone. Um, but it was great to see the guys. Wiley is on lead, is just still is as tight as ever, and really weird coincidence too, because I even made mention to my buddy that damn Wiley looks just like Rex from Pantera now, but I knew it wasn't. But anyhow, they had a great set, like I said, and then they were off to the next show. Um, Following them, um, a band that I had never seen, was familiar with some of their music, but like I said, I had never seen them live. Was Municipal Waste, and holy fuck! Um, so my buddy and I agreed that if there was ever a band that you could say summarized all of the 80s and 90s thrash metal bands is Municipal Waste. And I don't say that in a bad way. None whatsoever. Tons of energy. Absolute tons of energy. And I will give them all the credit where credit is due. This band had a full on old school circle pit from start to finish. Every goddamn show, or excuse me, every goddamn song they played, whether there was a pit going because of the crowd response, if not the lead singer is up there vocally demanding, let's get that fucking pit going. And boom, within seconds, the entire floor was going. Crowd surfing, pit action the entire time. I have not seen something like that in, honest to God, I can't remember. It might very well have been last time I saw Sacred Reich play, which was at the, was it New Titans on the Block tour when they played with Sepultura, Sacred Reich, Sick of It All. I want to say Obituary at Wilmer's Park in Maryland, in Brandywine, Maryland, and they played an outside small venue, and the pit was actually gravel. Anyhow, I hadn't seen something like that kind of nonstop crowd response in years, and I commend them for that. They were fun. I'm 51 years old. If my if my buddy that was with me, along with my wife and other friend, but the immediate friend that I was talking with, if he wasn't actually, I think, 53, trust me, we were that close to wanting to actually be down the pit, which is exactly where we would have been years ago. Now, my buddy was pissed drunk at this show, um, and he was actually probably thinking he could have handled it. And I'm not saying that my buddy Tony couldn't have handled it, but I definitely think he would have been feeling it a lot more the following day than he would have been 30 years ago. Anyhow, they put on a great show, great performance. They are definitely a band to see live. Um, their studio work is good. Don't get me wrong. I am not putting down any of their work at all, but live is where these boys definitely shine. So definitely, if you see their name coming through town, you've got to get tickets to go see them. Whether you're a pit goer or just one to go see it, it's definitely one to watch. Following them, headlining act, like I mentioned, was Carcass. Carcass was a band that I never really got into too much growing up. I appreciated death metal, but I was more into the power groove, the punchiness, consistent pit action, if you will, of bands such as Pantera, Sacred Reich, um, just to kind of give you a generalization of who I was listening to, and a lot of hardcore bands. Um, but the guys came on stage and they had quite a light show, a very impressive light show for a club this small, for this size, let's say. Um, and I was just blown away, completely blown away. I actually mentioned to some people that once they started their performance, I was kind of in a trance, and it actually took me to another location, another place. The venue was pumped full of air conditioning. It was very comfortable in there. But as soon as they started, man, this warmth came over me. I was in a zone. I was glued to them. Uh, the tightness of their music. They are so technical. The vocals were just mesmerizing. Death metal, yes. Certain death metal bands roar. Certain vocalists almost sound like they're barking. Others are howling. I can't describe the vocal stylings from Carcass, and I apologize that his name is slipping my mind right now. But the whole thing was just a mesmerizing show. They had a great crowd response. The entire band was phenomenal. The drummer was incredible. I know that the lead singer and lead vocalist presently are the only two remaining original members, and they put on a great show. Yeah, the lead singer is constantly throwing bottles of water out into the crowd. You know, he's really getting into it. We we did miss the last two or three songs because, well, if you remember a couple minutes ago, I mentioned that my buddy was pissed drunk at the show. Well, he could barely stand, so it was up to us to get him outside, give him some fresh air, whatever, take care of him. But overall, this is an ongoing tour. I believe it is still on the move. Last I saw, they were out in California, so I don't know how many dates are left. But if you see this one coming around anywhere near you, I cannot suggest it enough. Whether you just love metal or you are in support of keeping the older bands still going, is a great mix. Again, Texas, you should be very proud. Creeping Death is a phenomenal band. Sorry about my camera shaking. My idiot cat just jumped on the fucking table and yeah. Anyway, um, Sacred Reich, great to see you guys still pushing it out there. I truly mean that. Municipal Waste, man, you guys were so much fucking fun to see. And wow, you guys really communicate with the audience and really got them going. And of course, Carcass coming from across seas to entertain us yet again. Phenomenal work. Absolutely blew my mind away. I've never had a band that actually put me into a trance state while you guys were playing. So I commend you on that and hope to definitely see you guys all again in the future. It's just my opinion, but I definitely hope you guys support it. Get out there and go see a good show. Go support the arts anyhow. This is John, the Witching Hour podcast. Thank you so much. If you did happen to go see any of these tours that I have mentioned or any of the shows, let me know. Let me know what you guys thought. Or if you agree with me or you think that the bands that I'm talking about suck dick, mention that to me too. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Follow me, please. Share the word. I've also got my YouTube channel going as well. I'm on Twitter, but I don't fuck with Twitter because Twitter's a fucking nightmare. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Keep it evil.